If you're asking me whether a lot of us are probably just going to, play with the rules, well, probably, probably. And I suppose let them fine us. There's no money in the kitty to get the fine from, so I don't know.
I'm Dani Valent, and this is Dirty Linen, the podcast that takes the issues the hospitality industry finds hard to air in public and shakes them all about. We're launching the series with When Rules Change, because in Victoria, on Saturday, June 20, the goalposts were shifted, the rules changed, and Daniel Andrews made an announcement.
I have to announce that the planned opening up of, for instance, pubs, restaurants and cafes going from 20 patrons per enclosed space to 50 patrons per enclosed space has been deferred until midnight the 12th of July.
This is devastating for restaurants. It's bad news. For some restaurants, it means they won't be able to reopen at all. Lino Scidone owns La Camera restaurant at Southbank. It's been there for more than 20 years. He's built up loyalty, not just among his customers, but among his staff. And the news of the dining restrictions sticking to what they were was devastating for him. Lino, thanks for coming to have a chat today. It's not easy times, is it?
Far from easy times, Dani. Far from easy times, and even harder now with what we need to do from today to counteract what we need to do for tomorrow.
So tell me where you were at yesterday morning and what had changed by the afternoon.
Well, yesterday morning I had an upbeat staff and everyone all excited about probably doing more hours and me being able to pay some more wages so they can pay more rent and buy more food. And we've got fully booked days every day for 50 people from tomorrow. And by mid-afternoon, I can't remember now, it was 3 or 4 o'clock, everyone's mood has suddenly changed completely, complete turnaround. And we now have to go into work today and start ringing everybody for the next 7 days at least, and maybe more. I haven't gone through the diary in regard to how many bookings throughout July even have booked in.
What were some of the thoughts that went through your mind when you got this curveball?
That it's probably going to be over, to be honest. It's been a stressful 3 or 4 months. I promised the staff that I'd get them all back, and I have. And with the 20 people that we've been managing to seat Monday to Sunday, it really is not covering anything. And we've managed to, sort of dodge the curveball, thinking the 50 are coming in, and that maybe we can see a bit of a green light. And it's sort of been dashed completely. Like, even my enthusiasm is normally I'm pretty upbeat, but they're really, they're playing with people's lives now, all of us. And I don't know where to go from here, to be honest. We'll keep punching on, but yeah, not sure.
It's so tough. I mean, what do you think from a health perspective? Do you feel like it's a decision that had to be made, even though it's breaking people?
Look, I was with most of all the decisions, and if the pain we were going through was the pain that we needed to go through for people to be safe, I accepted that, and being tourism and hospitality being the sectors that were affected the most, I accepted it. It wasn't a problem. But now that we've been open 21 days, and I have gone out to several restaurants over the last 3 weeks, and all of us doing the right thing. I've been to all the restaurants, I've been to Ronnie's, I've been down in the city, I've been everywhere, sitting down. People are doing the 1.5 metres, people are doing the 4 square metres per person. They're doing the sanitising. And I mean, I've gone even extra with, I've got heat scanners where people are coming in and I'm testing people for temperature checks. I'm doing the sanitising unit, I'm taking their names, everyone said, cleaning everything. But we've been open for 21 days now, and there's no one that's come through any restaurant that's positive. They've all come from either a hotel or a march, which that's another story. So I think they made the wrong call here. We've all done as restaurants what they've asked us to do and more. And now I think we're just being punished for no reason at all. I feel safe in my environment. The clients that come to my place feel safe. That's why they're coming. And I think that they've just put the nail in the coffin with yesterday's decision, completely.
How far ahead is your horizon?
Oh, how far ahead is my horizon? Look, up until yesterday, we were all upbeat and thinking that maybe there was a chance, with JobKeeper only, because without JobKeeper there was no horizon. And even then, on the 1st of October, if they take JobKeeper out, we're all of us, the ones that are left, because there's already hundreds that have closed for good, would be still a fight. But we're a resilient lot, and we'll fight on. But he's not giving us a chance now. With another 3 weeks of this, a lot of us, even I'm looking at figures, even myself, there's a good possibility that we're not going to make it. That's the horizon.
When you look at the figures, which are the ones that leap out at you as the most problematic?
Wages. Without JobKeeper, it'd be unsustainable now completely with 20 people. Totally, I wouldn't be able to have stayed open. There's no way in the world that I would have stayed open. Just wages really. If they gave us the 50, that allows us, doubling what we're doing now. So with JobKeeper, if we were able to make a bit of a profit and keep that in there, it would just give us a bit of a buffer, I suppose you want to call it, for when the hard days are also going to come after JobKeeper, because that's another fight in itself.
Absolutely. And as someone who employs people, leads people, sets the mood, I mean, how do you do that when you get something that's so demoralising just thrown at you?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm just taking my kids and my partner down to Sorrento today for 2 days. I don't want to see anybody. I'll reassess, I'll go for a run, and I'll come back positive. There's no point in me going to work, demoralised, because it all stems from me. So, I'll go back into work tomorrow and upbeat and keep pushing on. Because, the staff are already demoralised. Half of them can't pay rent. They're having troubles with their landlords. All the personal stuff that everybody out there, not just hospitality, is going through. And they saw a bit of light with the 50. Some extra hours that definitely would take place. With the rules being changed in the 50 and being able to have a drink, meaning that people would come out a bit later. The restaurant closes now at about, I think kitchen's about 8:30, 9 o'clock is the latest. There's no one walking around. But with the restrictions being eased, it would have changed the mood. All the mood for all the staff, myself. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And, I'm on a thread with about 10 other guys that are running restaurants, and we're all ropeable yesterday. Ropeable.
I think it would have mostly been 4-letter words, right?
I think there's a 5 one. Is there a letter? Yeah, maybe 5. yeah, and even that thread keeps me going too. We're all just balancing off each other. We've all got quite big venues, and all of us were pretty heavily booked from tomorrow onwards. And that gave us a bit of light, to be honest, and it's just been taken away from us. And I don't think it's justified.
Did it cross your mind to just ignore it? Push on?
Oh, well, a couple of things crossed my mind. Just give up, which is not in my blood. But that went away pretty quickly. There was just a bit of a self-pity there for a minute. Look, the fines are just too big. Did it cross my mind? Yeah. I've been thinking about it since 4 o'clock yesterday. To not ring anybody and just see what happens. How do I ring up people now and say, who do I choose out of the 50 that are coming and not coming? Do I do a lot drawing? Do I choose maybe people that have got a function that's more important than people just coming out for dinner? I haven't even thought. I've got to go to work today and work out what we're going to do for a couple of hours. And I might. I might. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure.
You're just in the thick of it, aren't you?
Oh yeah. We all are. We all are, and we're trying to manage through. And these guys aren't helping. They don't understand the industry. Number one, they have no idea. They have no idea. They must think we're making millions. But the call that he made yesterday, as much as I probably was with him for most of the last 3 or 4 months, he's lost me. We've done, our industry has done everything that has been asked of us, everything and more, and we've proved it by not one case in the last 21 days coming out of any restaurant. But yet you can have 10,000 people march down the street. I just don't get it. I don't understand it completely. We should probably revolt, and all of us just do 50. I mean, if you can march down the street with 10,000 people, I can't see why 50 people in a restaurant, all strictly strictly adhering to all the rules that we've got in place, is going to affect anything. So, I don't know, Danny. I'll make that call today. And I'll see how much backlash I get from everyone that I call, because I'm sure they're going to be blaming us, but it's not our fault.
How understanding have you found diners so far about the restrictions and the requirements that fall on you to manage?
Oh, look, the diners have been fantastic, especially coming to, with the levels of, I'm the only restaurant that's got a heat scanner. You come in and we take the temperature, so they feel very, very safe coming into my environment. And they've been sympathetic to the whole situation. We've had loyal clients come in 3 times a week, just to help us out. Even just the other night when I was talking about it, they were all excited about, the 50, and they feel comfortable coming into the environments, because if you go into all the restaurants, everyone's got the tables separated, everyone's cleaning tables, everyone's giving you disposable menus, everyone's sanitizing, everyone's taking your name, everyone's doing the right thing. What's not doing the right thing is having a march. I think if you're asking me whether a lot of us are probably just going to, play with the rules, well, probably, and I suppose let them fine us. Well, there's no money in the kitty to get the fine from, so I don't know. We'll see. But if we don't, we're not going to be here anyway. That's the other reality is, if we don't, we're not here. We're gone anyway.
It's just an impossible situation.
It is an impossible situation, and and it's stressing for all concerned. And I look at the staff and I admire them for what they're going through. I mean, there's you think you did an article on overseas students. I look at them and think, I'm in trouble. I'm not in trouble compared to them. You got kids here who are earning no money, none, zero. Don't know how they've fed themselves. We've helped out as much as we can. I've got 30 of them. And here they are still plodding along. You got to look at them and admire them and learn from them. And they've been in this country for years, and they haven't been given a cent. And that's why I promised I'd get them back.
It definitely crossed my mind when I heard about the restrictions staying about the visa workers, who many of them were hanging on for the 50 and waiting for some extra shifts to come through, or for any shifts to come through. And I think it's particularly demoralising for people who have no access to any government support. And now this timeline for the possibility of getting some paid work back has been pushed out further. So I think it's very tricky, and for the employers such as yourself who are also desperate to give them some shifts.
Well, I feel. What's the word? I mean, they've given to me. I feel like I'm obliged to just do everything I can to keep the doors open. Because if I shut them, well, there's no work. Whether they're JobKeeper or job seeker, there's another 50. Just out of this venue, let alone the other ones that I might, I've got that are in the same boat. So, there's, by October, there's probably another 100 people on the dole, and that's the reality of it.
No one's winning. No.
I just don't think that the choice that was made yesterday, especially to restaurants, was the right choice. They just didn't go through it, and he's playing with people's lives now. He's been playing with people's lives from day one, but he's now playing with their lives at a very, 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 very fine point. Everyone's just on edge, and just getting through. So I don't know where we go from here. And July 12th is a long, long way away. It's a lot. To me, that feels like it's 6 months ago. 6 months away. And then there's no guarantee that he's going to change in 12th of July. What's going to change? You know, might keep it the same.
I think that certainty's been, it's like the timelines and the certainty and the ability to plan has really been ripped away, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Totally. Totally, you know, because we don't really know where to go from here. You know, realistically, I have to, you know, I've been putting shifts on where the staff has not really been required. I'm going to have to make that call in the next week in regard to cutting shifts, where we're just paying wages because, you know, I've got staff. You know, save the business or save some staff. Which one do you choose? You know, it's a very, very hard call.
Well, as you say, if you don't have a business, then you don't have staff. So, I mean, it's just very, very devastating decisions that you have to make. And I imagine just the energy that you have to muster to make any of those phone calls, whether it's to diners or, you know, to have a chat to one of your staff members. I mean, it just must really take a toll on you.
Look, it has. And I'm sure that the home life's been a bit stressful, but you know, as I said, we are a resilient mob. You know, after 21 years of going through hospitality, you do go through a bit, and you keep fighting through. So, you know, as I said, I've got staff that have been working for me for, you know, there's about 16 of them, I think, for about 16 to 18 years each. So there's a loyalty there that, you know, you just can't give up, you know, until you have no choice, I suppose. And it's just not like Camera, my restaurant. You know, everyone I talk to is in the same boat. Everyone, and everyone's fearing the 1st of October. That's like the clip everyone's talking about, because they take away JobKeeper.
Yeah.
Once I did the figures that if I take away JobKeeper, I'd probably be losing, I don't know, 10 a week, 10 or 15.
10 or 15,000 a week.
Easy, yeah. Well, the wages are about 55 to 60% of turnover with 20 people, because that's all I can do. You know, got to, you know, so with the 50, you know, it might have you know, come close to breaking even.
Oh dear, Lino. So if I come to La Camera and get one of those precious 20 seats, what shall I order?
What should you order? Well, the boys have made a special lamb shank in the last couple of weeks that is just because we're also just a pivot. You know, we're doing drive-through, we're doing takeaway, we're delivering to you. You know, we you name it. You know, we're delivering ourselves. So the lamb shank has just gone through the roof, and definitely, I don't know if you followed any of our videos and what have you, but Mum came out of the retirement at 84 and came and showed the kids how to make proper Roman lasagna without bechamel. So
I saw that.
You see that? Yeah. So that's all the locals that are coming in and buying the Cryovac lasagna. That's definitely worked. So one of those two definitely, 100%.
Maybe I'll have a lamb shank sitting there looking over the river, and I'll get a lasagna to take home.
No problem. But you got to get that seat. Maybe we should auction them. You know?
I know.
You know, that's the other thing I haven't done.
Yeah.
So the other thing I haven't done is that after 21 years, I felt it was wrong. I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but there are a lot of restaurants trying to charge $80 or $100 a head. I just felt that to do that, you know, you've had loyal customers that have been coming to you for 21 years that can only afford $20 or $30. So we didn't, you know, we haven't done the minimum spend. We haven't done all that. You know, we've just accepted. Even if Olga from next door has been coming to us for 20 years, having a soup every day comes in, we accept it. You know, because it's just about staying open right now, and you know, it wasn't going to make any difference with 20. You know, with whether you were going to have a soup or someone's going to spend $40, it was going to make the bottom line was going to be pretty close to the same. And people have appreciated that. You know, I went to a place the other night. It was $100 minimum spend or something. You know, I didn't realise that till I got there. So, you know, everyone's different. But, you know.
Everyone's just trying to do what they can, right? Everyone's just trying to figure it out. It's
There's no right and there's no wrong. You know, I just felt it was right for us to do it that way for us and for our diners. You know, 21 years is a long time for them to be coming to you. And to say no to someone because they couldn't afford it, I couldn't do it. I suppose. Couldn't do it. And I think people appreciated that. But
I'm sure they do, and I think I really, really hope that customer loyalty and the loyalty that you've generated among your team is going to be enough to carry you through. It's an important restaurant to Melbourne, and I just do not envy you the weeks and months ahead, but I believe that you're going to be there on the other side with some beautiful lamb shanks and pasta and mum's lasagna. So all power to you. Good luck making those difficult phone calls today, Lino, and thank you for sharing your story today.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about. We spend a week thrashing around each issue, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This is a Deep in the Weeds production.